can your village people come and do omugu work out? They pain where. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're returning, but if you're just seeing this beautiful face for the first time, hi, my name is Chantel and I am a Nigerian based YouTuber. If you like what you see already, please do well to subscribe by clicking on that button that spells subscribe and the bell icon that shows up after, so you are notified each time I post content on here. I put out videos here 3 times a week, every Tuesday, every Thursday and every Sunday. Without wasting much of your time, let's just delve into today's video. This video is in collaboration with Real Estate with Oma. Guys, she's an Abuja based YouTuber. She was formerly known as Oma and Family, but she switched things up recently and changed her channel name to Real Estate with Oma. I'll leave all her information in the description box and you can just click on the link there to redirect to her channel. So today's video is something new. I've never done something like this on my channel, and I know that for my oldest it's going to be very new, but then again, I'm the type of person that likes to share information. If I get wind of information that I feel like somebody will benefit from, I don't hold it. Hence my filming this video. I know that I am not a real estate person. I'm sure you can tell by the title of this video that it has to do with renting a house in Nigeria, but I went in depth and I picked some brains in getting some of the important tips I'm going to be sharing with you. Oma, on the other hand, is going to be doing a video on how to buy a house in Nigeria so you don't fall into the hands of fraudsters. All the basic things you will look out for if you're looking to buy a house here in Nigeria. After watching mine, please head on to her channel and watch hers. Also engage on the video, leave a comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber on her channel, and just make her feel warm that she collaborated with Chantel. I know that my Chantel lights are not going to fall my hand. I'm sure you find her channel really entertaining, that you will subscribe and watch her old videos and just get stuck basically. Okay, thank you. This video is somewhat targeted to those living in diaspora looking to come back to Nigeria to rent a house to live in, or those in Nigeria, based in Nigeria, that are looking to move houses from where they are to another house. So these are just tips and tricks and things you should look out for if you're looking to rent a house here in Nigeria. I'm going to be sharing with you guys questions that you need to ask, things you need to look out for, all the shebang, everything I have come to understand during my research basically. For starters, annual rent in Nigeria ranges from 100,000 to 5 million naira. It depends on what you're going for. If it's a one room, that's a shared bathroom and toilet apartment, or a self-contained where you have your toilet, your bathroom and your kitchen, or a 1-bedroom flat where you have 1 room, 1 parlor, your toilet, your kitchen, your bathroom, or you want the whole building. If it's a bungalow or if it's a 1-story building, yeah, we have all of that in this country. So whatever your need may be or whatever your preference may be, there is something for you. So I just listed out a bunch of tips that I believe will help you if you're looking to rent any of the aforementioned type of houses here in Nigeria. Number 1, which I believe is the most important thing, due to the fact that in Nigeria we don't have good roads, most places are waterlogged, I would advise that if you're searching for a house, you search for a house during rainy season and not dry season. If you're not from Nigeria, let me just tell you that we have 2 weathers. We have rainy season and dry season, also known as harmattan. As the name suggests, rainy season is when there's so much rainfall in Nigeria, and the opposite of that is dry season, where there's little to no rain. So if you're looking to get a house, I would really advise that you look for a house during rainy season. That way you can see what the area looks like when it's raining heavily. You can check the building, check for any water marks to see the level of water that is logged in the compound or the building or the area that you're looking to rent. Please, that is so important, because I've heard cases of people that go on ahead to rent houses during dry season and all is well and good. The roads are dry, you can drive in seamlessly, nothing is a problem until rain comes knocking and your whole house is flooded. So please try to rent a house when the weather is wet, when the environment is wet, when it's raining. Number 2, this is for those who are looking to rent maybe between 1-bedroom apartment to maybe 3-bedroom apartment. I really don't know, because I know that if you're looking to rent the whole building, you will not need this point. So if you're renting a building that's a house from a building that is 2-story buildings and the whole building is empty as at the time that you're looking to rent, I would suggest that you take the first floor for these reasons. Number 1, there's more fresh and less congested air. If you're someone that lives downstairs in a 2-story apartment, you can attest to this. The air downstairs is more congested because that's where cars park, that's where people dry their clothes. So everything that you're supposed to be getting into your house is being shared by these non-living things. But if you are on the first floor or the second floor, it's less congested and you get more fresh air. Secondly, which is very secondary but I think it's important as well, is that if there's no water in the house and you're in the first floor, those downstairs, yeah, they will stop getting water after you, but you will stop getting water after the person at the topmost floor. So you're just balanced in a way, and if water comes back, you're the second to get water. Do you get? Because water is from a tank upward, and if it's reducing first, it gets cut off from the first floor before you, and then the last floor. Then if it's being pumped, it gets filled from the first from the bottom house, then you before the topmost floor. Does that make any sense? I just put that out here because I believe that it's secondary, like I said, but it's really important. Number 3, guys, please be sure to check the roads leading up to the house. If you wait and at the end of the year you believe that you'll be spending more money to repair your car than that of your rent, then it's a no-no. You don't need that type of trouble on your shoulders. Just leave that place and move on to another place, because most times when you live in a waterlogged area, when dirty water starts entering under your car, it messes your car. And if you're someone who is here to get a car, and the amount of time that you use to trek from your house to the junction where you access a car, because I know that cars will not even want to drive into a bad road, then don't go for it, because by the time you walk from your house to the junction, your whole leg is filled with bad water and poto, like we like to call it here in Nigeria. So I feel like you should just shun that and move on. It's not by force. The disadvantages cannot outweigh the advantages here. Number 4, guys, location really matters, in the sense that is your house close to your place of work, your place of business, or civilization in general? Do you need to be on the road for 45 minutes to an hour to get from your house to your office? For me, that doesn't make sense. By the time you get to your place of work, sometimes you'd be so tired because you're already stressed yourself from moving from your house to your office or your place of business. So that doesn't really cut it for me. Sometimes people do that because they are trying to cut down on rent. But if you put that in perspective and really study the stress that you're putting on yourself or the fuel you're wasting for those who are mobile, then it doesn't make any sense. Just pay for somewhere that is easily accessible to your place of work and keep it moving. Number 5, what is the power situation in the place you're looking to rent? I know that in Nigeria power sucks, but then again, there are some places that have it better than the others. So you want to weigh that out and see if you can get somewhere that is better in terms of power. To carry out this test, you can just show up there unannounced, just drive around or use a cab or a keke, whatever your means of transportation is, and check. Compare by how many times you visited the place and how many times you actually met lights there. If you visited 10 times, for instance, and you met light there once, then it's a no-no. But if you visited 10 times and you met light, say maybe 3 to 4 times, then it's average and it can be worked out, so you can deal with that and stay in that location. Also seek advice and ask questions from those living in the area, because you don't want to be paying an arm and a leg for diesel or fuel every month or even every day. It's not funny, trust me. Number 6, guys, how secure is the place you're trying to move into? Do they have a police station nearby? Do they have a neighborhood security team that looks out for the tenants and residents of the area? Do they have CCTV mounted at different strategic positions of the area? Just look out for things like that, because Nigeria is not safe, as well as other countries. So it's not like a Nigerian thing. Yeah, but then again, we have to look out for ourselves and just take things like this into consideration. For me, security is one of the primary things I look out for when it comes to getting a new place. Also, look at the protector that was used to build the house. Are they the hollow ones, those very light ones that if a burglar comes, you just use one hand and tear it off the wall? That's a no-no. If your landlord used that to build the house, please just be running, because you're on your own at this point. With all these points given, I'm sure that at this point you now know where you want to live. So I'm going to be sharing with you some questions that you should ask your agent or your landlord or people around you before you finally move into the place that you're looking to rent. Number 1, ask for the lease terms. In Nigeria, the most rampant one is annually, that is 1 year rent, but some landlords do 2 years. So please ask questions so you don't fall into one chance and say, nobody told me, I just assume that it's 1 year because that is what we're used to here in Nigeria. Okay. Number 2, be sure to ask what the terms of rent are. In Nigeria here, newcomers into the property are most likely to pay things like agent fee, which is 10%, drink money. I don't know who is drinking the drink, but yeah, there's drink money. Sometimes they even ask you to pay for 2 years immediately. Like I mentioned earlier, some landlords do 1 year, some do 2 years, but most times for people that are moving into the property first timer, they are usually asked to pay for 2 years, but that's not really common. Some even ask you to pay for youth fee, some ask you to pay for agreement. There are a whole lot of things that you are required to pay for when you're a first timer in a property. So please just ask for the terms of rent before you think of paying for the place so that it doesn't exceed your budget. Number 3, please inquire how often the rent goes up. Some landlords don't increase their rents until 5 years have elapsed. Some just do as the spirit leads. He can wake up one morning and say, I want to buy myself a Mercedes by the end of this year, so my rent has to increase. So please get that information from the landlord or the agent. If possible, sign an agreement. So if he goes back on his words, you bring it out and say, you told me that this rent is not going up for so and so amount of time or period of time. So yeah, you guys should just get that on the table and sign it if possible, especially when you have plans of renewing your rent in that property. Number 4, what is the maintenance policy? I know some places that the landlord renovates the building every year from his own purse, while there are some other landlords that makes it compulsory for the tenants to renovate the place, like painting it, changing the roof, different things, just to continue modernizing the building basically. So please find out what the maintenance policy is like there. Number 5, is there a curfew? I know that some people say that they have strict curfew in their rented space. Yes, it exists here in Nigeria. 10 p.m, some midnight, some even 9 p.m. So if you're not in your house at the time, you will sleep outside because nobody is going to open gates for you. So please find out what the curfew is like there, if they have one, that is, so you don't fall victim of coming late and looking for who to quarrel with at the end of the day. Number 6, what is the guest policy like? Is the property guest friendly? Can you bring your family and friends to spend some time with you? Some landlords frown at it. Find out from them before you move into the property. Can your village people come and do a move work? Just find out all of that so that they don't come with their Ghana must go from the village, or your friends from diaspora coming to visit don't come with their boxes and they are turned back at the gate. Some even make it so strict that anybody that is entering the building will be made to sign something when they are coming in and sign out when they are leaving. So if they find out that the person hasn't signed out, it's a problem on your head. So please make sure you find out these important tips first from the agent or the landlord. I'll prefer you ask the landlord because he will be the one to give you an undiluted information when it comes to questions like this. Number 7, guys, is the rent generic? You know, with jobs, you are somebody at the same level and the person is taking home way more than you. That's the same thing with buildings. So if this guy has a 4-bedroom detached whatever and you're renting one of the spaces and he gives you a certain amount to pay as rent, please ask questions from your neighbors first. Find out how much they are paying, because some of these things are not generic. Everybody's looking to make money. So if he's telling you 500,000 and you're like, oh okay sir, no problem, I'll do a transfer to you tomorrow, and he told the other person 500,000 and the person price and he gave the person for 450. The person is paying 450, you're paying 500 in a building with the same amenities, everything is the same space, everything is just the same. You wouldn't want that for yourself. So please ask questions, okay, before dishing out money, because things like that, when you get to realize it, it's a pain where it's so painful. Please, okay. Thinking about it and even making me laugh. I can remember something like that happened to someone that I know. Please avoid falling victim of that. Please ask if you need a co-signing. I know that there are some landlords that don't rent out their property to single people. They don't like it. They don't like single girls staying alone in their property. So if you want to rent such spaces, you might want to get a co-signing, and in this case it has to be someone married. Sometimes they tell you someone working for the government on one level, or someone with a particular type of job, maybe a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer. Just ask questions before you carry your money and go and give agent, and the agent will say landlord will give you the property. Most times it doesn't work like that. You might need a co-signing to be able to rent the property. Ask questions before looking to rent the space. The last and final point you should look out for, this one you don't even need to ask a question, but you should just look out for, use your head and check it out. Is your landlord a racist? Yes, we have racism existing here in Nigeria. Some Igbo landlords will not want to rent to a Yoruba tenant. Some Yoruba tenants will not want to rent to an Igbo. Some Yoruba landlords rather will not want to rent to an Igbo tenant. Some Hausa landlords will not want to rent to Akwa Ibom. So it just varies. Ask that question. Look out for who you're going to rent a property from. If it's that type of person, then please run, because it's going to cause you more harm than good. Even if you're of the same descent as the landlord, don't look at it like that. Just be going, because people like that, if you bring a friend that is not from the tribe that they support, then it's a problem. If your wife is not from that tribe that they support, it's a problem as well. So look out for things like that before looking to rent a house. The last 2 points I'm going to be giving you guys are things that the landlord looks out for before renting a space to you, the tenant. Most landlords want to know what you do for a living. If you're a businessman, if you have a 9-to-5 job, and they need proof to show this thing, because everybody's trying to be careful. The landlord wouldn't want a situation where he will rent his property to someone who is into fraud, and one day police or EFCC comes and shuts down the property for something that he has no idea about. Please be sure to have that at hand, because most landlords or landladies require that, and it's very, very important. Secondly, they almost always need a referral. They don't want a situation where they are renting their property to someone who is an armed robber, who has issues from the village following the person, and the person will carry the person's bad spirit and come there. I know I'm going too far, I'm just making a joke, but then again, they want to be sure. They need the guarantee that, oh, I'm renting my property to someone who, if eventually something goes south, they can foot the bill, or there's someone that is guaranteeing that they are safe, basically. So they will need signatures from referrals, people that have jobs. It's almost the same as needing a cosigning. So the landlord will need someone of a particular status or caliber to guarantee that you are safe to be in their property. Okay, like I said, guys, this video is in collaboration with Real Estate with Oma. So after watching this, please head on over to her channel and show her some love. Subscribe, watch her video, leave a comment, share her video, just do all the good stuff, and just make her feel very warm and welcome for collaborating with me. If you watch up until this point, thank you so much. You're the real MVP. I appreciate you. I love you so much. I love all of you, whether you watch up until this point or not, because I know that there are so many other of my videos that you watch to the end, so I'm not hating at all. Share this video to anybody that you feel like will need this information and it will be impactful to them. So thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it, people. Do you like my hair? I said, let me wait to the end of this video to show you. Do you like my hair? See my length. This is my natural hair. I just twisted it. Can you see length? Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll be sure to see you in my next one. Bye.